Boy, oh boy, oh gee, oh boy. What a way to start a week, right folks? Hello ladies and gents, welcome back to the channel. First things first, I hope you all have a great upcoming week as once again, the work cycle begins anew.
Come on. Come on, baby. I just want out.
As I said in a previous video, news vids are going to become a more standard part of the channel in order to diversify and expand my content. So, here we are, especially considering the positive reception to my ghost video. But today, oh boy, is today's news a doozy. For you see, Embracer Group, yes, that company, has announced they will be splitting into 3 separate companies under the titles Asmodee, Coffee Stain and Friends, and Middle-earth and Friends.
Don't come up in my kitchen with that weak-ass shit.
What, did they use AI to make these names? What the hell? Guys, just in case you don't know who Embracer Group is, you may know them by their original name, Nordic Games Licensing, within the Nordic Games Group back in 2011, until 2016 when Nordic Games Licensing and Nordic Games GmbH changed their name to THQ Nordic, with their parent company going public and officially changing their name to Embracer Group in 2019. Since then, Embracer Group has become somewhat infamous to anyone who follows the industry, as they had a bad habit of buying up companies and developers en masse as a way to artificially expand their brand and business operations while not actually doing anything with said studios or IPs.
Really makes you think.
You may remember a company buying most of Square Enix's major Western studios and IPs like Deus Ex and Tomb Raider, and supposedly canceled a Deus Ex game that was in development. That was Embracer Group, and as of March of this year, 2024, they employ over 12,000 people across 111, that's right, you heard that right, 111 studios in 10 operative groups. For reference, Microsoft owns 40 studios. PlayStation has 21, Ubisoft has over 45, EA has 39, you get the picture. Embracer Group has an alarming amount of the industry under its belt, so you're probably thinking to yourself, wow, well they must just be printing money, right?
Oh no. Oh no. No, no, no. No, no, no. No, 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 no. No, 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 no. You misunderstood.
Well, not exactly. In fact, would you be surprised to learn they were having trouble with funding?
Oh, wait, you serious? Let me laugh even harder.
That's right, because shortly before this announcement, they were supposed to strike a deal with Saudi Arabia for over $2 billion. However, this deal fell through, which leads us to today's topic, which is Embracer Group, as we know it, is dead. And this is a big deal. I mean, after all, they have so many studios and IPs under their belt, it's natural for us to wonder what exactly is going to happen to them. So, first things first, let's go over the basics. As announced on their website and at Nasdaq Stockholm, the company will be split into 3 companies. Asmodee, which will oversee tabletop and board games. Coffee Stain and Friends, which will cover their AA, indie, and free-to-play titles such as Deep Rock Galactic, Goat Simulator, Satisfactory, Teardown, Valheim, and over 200 other IPs, including free-to-play licensed games like Star Trek Online and D&D Neverwinter Online. And finally, the big one, being Middle-earth and Friends, which will focus on AAA development and houses developers such as Crystal Dynamics, Dambuster Studios, Eidos Montreal, Flying Wild Hog Studios, Tripwire, Vertigo Games, Warhorse Studios, 4A Games, and even limited run games. That's right, the guys who do physical releases for indie titles. In terms of IPs, they have Dead Island, Killing Floor, Kingdom Come Deliverance, Lord of the Rings, Metro, Tomb Raider, and of course Deus Ex, amongst others. Which is a crazy amount of IPs and studios for one company to own. And yet people complain about the Activision deal, when Embracer Group was right there, as I've been saying all along. But that's a different topic for another video. So at this point, I am sure you are wondering, well, okay, they're now becoming 3 companies that focus on different avenues. That doesn't exactly mean Embracer Group is dead, right? I mean, the parent company is still Embracer Group, and that is an excellent point. So why don't we take a little look-see at Embracer Group's own post on their website, giving the details of such change. So, as you can see on the screen here, they listed key process components that detail exactly what's changing and how said companies are going to be operated. So, if we go to the first bullet point, you can see it states that shares of Asmodee Group and Coffee Stain and Friends are intended to be distributed as a dividend to the shareholders of Embracer Group and listed on Nasdaq Stockholm, in accordance with LES-ASEA rules. Meanwhile, Middle-earth and Friends, Christ, seriously, who named this shit, is intended to stay with Embracer Group. However, Embracer Group will subsequently be renamed. In other words, as I said earlier, Embracer Group as we know it is dead. Now, all of this stemmed from the failure of obtaining the Saudi Arabia deal, because wouldn't you know it, the company was in major debt. Wow! It's almost as if buying up studios en masse and doing nothing with them does more harm than good. Wow, crazy! And this decision was a part of the Asmodee separation process, as stated in the third bullet point, reaching a financial agreement of 900 million euros, proceeds of which will be used to repay existing debt and to reduce leverage in the remaining Embracer Group. In other words, Embracer Group got too big for its britches, and now they're paying the price. Which shouldn't be surprising to anyone who's been keeping an eye on this company. I mean, after all, if you have such powerhouse IPs like Tomb Raider, Deus Ex, and Lord of the Rings, you would think they would have capitalized on these IPs long ago. Now folks, remind me, when was the last Tomb Raider game that wasn't a remaster? When was Mankind Divided released? Hell, when did we get a major Lord of the Rings game that wasn't the Shadow games? Oh, right, I'm sorry, I forgot. How could I forget? 2023 Game of the Year, Gollum! Wow, what a... Man, it really puts things into perspective, don't it? I mean, honestly, this was inevitable. I don't know who is the head of Embracer Group, but they clearly don't really know exactly how growth in the industry works. You can't just buy studios and expect to rake in the cash unless said studios are major yearly AAA moneymakers like Activision with Call of Duty or Epic Games with Fortnite. That's why Epic can keep paying for exclusivity deals for their storefront, because Fortnite prints money. And just look at the store for Call of Duty. $20 to $30 bundles with the King Kong fist requiring at least $80 total, and yet they sell. Because they know these are things people have shown they are willing to pay for. But in terms of live service, the best game Embracer Group had under their belt was Deep Rock Galactic, except the problem there is the Deep Rock devs are extremely pro-consumer, and not only have they had the battle passes be in the game for free, but once they were done with, they just added the battle pass content into the game as drops. So apart from the small skins you can buy, that game is not making enough money for them to just sit back and watch the cash flow in. So if you aren't going to go the live service route, what they should have been focusing on is properly utilizing their well-known IPs. In a post-cyberpunk world, a new Deus Ex game would kill on the market. And despite my issues with the modern trilogy, most people really liked the Tomb Raider reboot. I mean, Hell, we somehow got a Kingdom Come Deliverance sequel. And look, that game is incredible and everyone should play it. But never in my wildest dreams did I imagine that a niche game would get a sequel before we got a new Deus Ex. I'm glad, don't get me wrong, I am really excited for Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. It's just wild that they sat on Deus Ex and Tomb Raider only for the latest Lord of the Rings game to be a cash grab pile of garbage like Gollum. So, there's the long and short of the news. What are your thoughts on this? Do you think we'll see more usage of IPs like Tomb Raider and Deus Ex once these companies are fully separated and operational? Or do you think it'll be the same song and dance that'll end in whatever Embracer Group renames themselves to, selling off these IPs to stay afloat? That's going to be it for today's video, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you all for tuning in. As always, if you enjoyed the video, like, comment, and subscribe if you feel so inclined. As always, to stay up to date on all things crab, you can follow me on Twitter via the link in the description below. And if you're looking for a way to support the channel, you can consider becoming a member. For only 99 cents a month, you get access to the community Discord, the Crab Shack. Once you're in, you are in for good, as well as emotes to harass me with live on streams. But with all that out of the way, I will see you guys in the next video.